Brad, we don't know at this point if there are casualties on the ground, if people were killed going about their lives who live there. We just don't know. But obviously, this is an incredibly crowded area near this particular airport, as Pete was pointing out. How hard is it to pilot a small single-engine plane over a residential area? And obviously, we don't know how it came down.
You know, I've piloted single-engine Huey helicopters, and when you're single-engine, if that engine has a problem, then you're coming out of the sky. And so that's one of the challenges, as distinct from a Black Hawk helicopter, for example, that has two engines. But, you know, this is so troubling, this breaking news, and it's really particularly jarring because it comes on the heels of what we're experiencing here in Washington. And, you know, every life is precious, whether it's one or two or 67. I think that's important to say, but I agree with Pete that, you know, there's a real distinction here between the scale of the atrocity, even though this is breaking news. With this particular incident in Philadelphia, I'm concerned that we might have some casualties on the ground as well. We'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah,
and that would be distinct from what we saw in Washington, where the aircraft going into the river.
Yes, it went into the river. I mean, Mary, to even think that you would be thinking about how much worse it could have been, because the loss is just so incalculable in the crash. We're now seeing that live in the sky here as well. And you know, as we're watching this breaking news, Brad, and watching these images, waiting to get more information here any second, this is going to come down to, as we're waiting to know whether casualties happened on the ground, but what happened on board that plane. In the Washington story, Brad, we now understand that there is a black box recovered from the helicopter that would be a newer model in that case and have both voice and data, and that it is not damaged. That's what we understand. So do you think, Brad, that means that we are going to get firm answers on exactly what happened on board that helicopter, you know, what they knew, when they knew it, why they were flying a half a mile off course, why they were flying 30% higher than they were supposed to be flying, these crucial questions that are unanswered right now?
Erin, I think the most significant development coming out of the NTSB briefing is exactly what you just highlighted. The fact that they found this combined voice and digital flight data recorder from the Black Hawk is, in this very sad saga that we're going through here, is very, very good news. It's going to tell us everything we need to know. And it's just and it's in the hands of the NTSB. And if anyone who watched that briefing, it's just a reminder that these are real professionals who know what they're doing. We can trust them, and let's just be patient. And there's been a lot of conjecture, good faith conjecture here. We're trying to do the best we can to understand. But the professionals are on the case. They have the black boxes from the fixed-wing aircraft. They have the black box from the Black Hawk. We're going to know everything we need to know about this, and then we're going to make the necessary reforms to make sure this doesn't happen again.